All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh. Do so in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, real name Yahweh Shai. Right, today we're going to be going into the spirit of breakdown on the Seminole Indians, right, who in fact is the tribe of Reuben of the nation of Israel. All right, the Reubenites that you hear about in the Bible are the Seminole Indians in Florida and also in Oklahoma, right, the remnant of the Seminole Indians, right. So today we're going to be proving that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because prophetically, right, historically, right, and even dealing with ancient artifacts, all prove that these people are the people of the Bible. All right, so we're going to prove that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? So let's just get right into it. All right, we're going to start off, today we're going to start with Genesis 49. All right, Genesis 49, we're going to start in verse 3. All right, Genesis 49, verse 3. It says, Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, in the beginning of my strength. The excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Right, so it says, Reuben is the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Let's see what this word excellency is, right? All right, let's see what this word excellency is, right? Let's go to interlinear. All right. It's this word right here, right? Excellency of dignity, right? Strong's H499. All right. The spirit about to get right in this thing, right? Yathar. It's really, yeah. Yathar. Yathara, right? It says the remainder, the remnant, remainder, rest, other part, excess, abundantly, abundance, affluence, superiority, excellency. I look at the Strong's definition, right? It says overhanging, implication, and excess, superiority, remainder, also as small rope hanging, as hanging free, abundant, cord, exceeding, excellency, right? That hath left, remnant, right? So we're going to see this remnant about the Seminole Indians, which is talking about Reuben, right? So let's go right here, right? This is, Seminole history, right, from semtribe.com, right? Let's read what this says. Watch this. It says, the eventual capture and deportation of Bowlegs ended aggression between the Seminole Indians and the United States. Unlike their dealings with any other Indian tribes, however, the U.S. government could not force a surrender from the Florida Seminoles, right? They could not force them, right? Historians estimate that there may have been only a few hundred unconquered Seminole men, women, and children, all hiding in the swamps and Everglades of South Florida. No chicanery, I butchered that word, but whatever. No offer of cattle, land, liquor, or God, nothing could lure the last few of their purchase of ambush deep in the wilderness. Right, the U.S. declared the war ended, though no peace treaty was ever signed, and gave up. Right, they couldn't break the Seminole Indians. They couldn't break the remnant, the remainder of these people. Right. Let's go back to Genesis 49. I remember these people, they're the remnant, and we know that the last 300 in the Seminole tribe in the Florida Everglades were left, and America cannot force anything upon them. Right, we're gonna see why America cannot stop or diminish these Seminole Indians, right, which is in fact the tribe of Reuben. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back to Genesis 49. All right, Genesis 49, and we're gonna read verse 4. All right, it says, unstable as water. Salaki. Let's go right here. All right, Genesis 49 and verse 4. It says, unstable as water, thou shalt not excel. So through the spirit, it's being prophesied that the Reubenites will be unstable as water. All right, when you read verse 1, in Genesis 49, it says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Right? So in the last days, this prophecy is going to be happening, right? And we are all in the last days. Anyone can agree and attest to that. Right? So we're going to see who these people are. So it says, in the last days, Reuben will be unstable as water. Right? Let's see what that means. Reuben being unstable as water. Let's go to the Strongs for unstable. All right? Which is Strong's H6349. All right? Pahaz. It says recklessness, wantonness, frothiness, unbridled license. Right? Recklessness and wantonness. Let's look at the word for wanton, etymology.com, right? Etymology, etymology dictionary, right? Because you always got to go to the root words and the root definition and the etymology of these words, right? Because Esau likes to change words, they like to change times, they like to change a lot of things. Right, so look at the word for wanton. It says one who is ill-behaved, especially, right, lascivious, lewd person, a wanton, somebody who's ill-behaved. Look at this. To revel, frolic, unrestrained. They're unrestrained. They cannot be restrained, right? The word wanton means that they cannot be restrained. And God, right, through Jacob is telling Reuben that he is going to be unrestrained, right? And wanton, right? Wanton as an adjective. Resistant to control, right? So Reuben is resistant to control. Now let's look at the root word of the word Seminole. Seminole from Creek Muskegon. Watch this. Look at this. Wild, untamed, runaway. So the word Seminole literally means untamed and runaway, and the word wanton, what God calls Reuben, is resistant to control. Right? They're unstable. They cannot be controlled. Right? And listen, through the Spirit, the Most High knew what he was doing. Right? Through just the name alone can prove that these people are the people of the book. Right? Nobody else has this name. Right? The Most High prophetically said that these people in the last days were going to be unstable and resistant to control. The same way the Seminole Indians were unstable and resistant to U.S. control. The U.S. government and army could not control the last 300 Seminole Indians. Right? So let's keep going on. Let's keep going on. Right? Watch this. Let's read this, right? This is the timeline. Right? Timeline for survival on the semtribe.com. Once again. It says ancestors of the Seminoles have lived in what is now the southeastern United States for at least 12,000 years, right? And that's incorrect, right? It says only the years since 1510, because, right, you got to chew the meat and you got to spit out the bones, right? We understand that according to 2nd Esdras 13, right, and verse 40, we can just go to it right now. 2nd Esdras 13 and verse 40. Let's get it. It says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, right? So they were in the Assyrian captivity, led away captive. He carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen. So they would leave the Assyrians and would go into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. Right? It says, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood. Right? When you deal with the word flood, you look at the etymology of the word flood. We can just look it up real quick, right? Let's just look it up real quick. The etymology of the word flood. Right? Because a lot of people will say, oh, it's rising, but that's not the case with the word flood, right? Watch this. Flood just means to overflow, to rise in a flood, right? To overflow. When you deal with sea level, there's a certain metric system that says, look, this amount of feet is sea level. If it rises it's above sea level, it's overflowing. That means it's a flood, right? So the Most High held still the flood, right? Let's keep going. Back in 2nd Esdras 13, and we're going to go back to verse 44. Read it again. It says, "For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood, till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsrith." Right? We know that Arsrith is dealing with America, right? So these people came from the western side and the eastern side and came all the way over here, right, to the western side of the world. All right, so let's go back to this. All right, watch this. Let me see what I want. Let's see what I want. All right. I mean, we can keep reading. But that's really it on it, right? The point is that when you deal with the word wanton, which is what Jacob is calling Reuben, said he's unstable, right? Unstable as water, right? He's reckless and untamed. You cannot tame water, right? He's reckless and untamed. Understand what I'm saying? The same way the Seminole Indians are unstable and resistant to control, right? They're ill-behaved and they're just wanton and they're unstable, right? And it's in the name Seminole, right? Untamed, wild, runaway, all right? Clear as day. All right, let's go to, maybe we could just look at that, right? All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 33 and verse 6, right? Deuteronomy 33 and verse 6. Let's get it right here. Right? It says, Deuteronomy 33 and verse 6. It says, "Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few." Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few. Right? When you deal with the Seminole Indians, in fact, let me go back to that. Right? When you deal with the Seminole Indians, Reuben is not going to die, and Reuben is going to be left alone. Right? We read that the U.S. government cannot force them into a treaty. Right? They cannot kill them all off. Understand what I'm saying? It says no offer, like it says right here. No offer, no cattle, no land, liquor, God, nothing could make them give up what they had. Understand? Watch this. It said the descendants of these last few restorers are the members of the Seminole tribe of Florida, tribe of Indians in Florida, unaffiliated, independent, or Seminole tribes, right? So we understand that there was a remnant left from these Seminole Indians after the Americas tried to decimate the whole world, tried to decimate the whole Seminole Indian tribe, right? Which could not happen because the Most High said in Deuteronomy 33 and verse 6, which is a blessing for the tribe of Reuben, says, "Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few," right? Because the white man tried to put his numbers all the way to zero, but guess what? The Most High preserved them, right? Through the fact that of their character, that they're unrestrained. They're literally not able to be restrained or tamed by anyone but the Most High God, right? So let's get into a few more other things. Let's see. For the tribe, 6 can pass. Yeah, let's just get into some other stuff, right? We're gonna deal with the gods of the Seminole Indians, right? Because the God of the Seminole Indians is very similar to the God of the Bible, right? They have very similar aspects through what the Bible teaches us. All right, we're gonna take a look at that, right? All right, let's look at the Native American legends Breathmaker, right? Their God, right? Let's just read right here. Right here. It says Breathmaker is the creator God of the Seminole tribe. He made the people out of clay and taught them the arts of civilization. So it said he made the people out of clay and he taught them the arts of civilization, right? Which is very similar to what the Most High did for us. All right. Let's go to Isaiah 64 and verse 8. All right, let's just get that. Isaiah 64 and verse 8. Let's see what we're going. All right. Oh, Salaki. This is mad slow. All right, it's a mad slow, right? It's Isaiah. We're gonna get 64 verse 8. You might as well have your Bibles out. I might have just used my Bible, right? Because this is not it. Yeah, this is not it, right? So I'm just going to my Bible real quick. Isaiah 64 and verse 8. It says, "But now, O Lord, thou art our Father. We are the clay, and thou our potter, and we are the work of thy hand." So in the Bible, we understand that we are the clay and the Most High is the potter, right? And the Seminole Indians, coincidentally enough, says that their God made them out of the clay, right? And they taught them the art of civilization. The same way the Most High taught us and breathed into us the wisdom, the life, right? Let's keep reading. It says he is associated. Matter of fact, before we keep reading, let's get another one. Genesis 2 and verse 7, because it said he taught them the arts of civilization. So the Most High made them and then taught them, right? The Most High made us and he taught us. Their God, their creator God, remember that, the creator God made them, put the life in them, right? Which is the same concept we see in the Bible. Let's go to Genesis 2 and verse 7. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7, it says, "And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and a man became a living soul." It says a man became a living soul, right? Let's get Isaiah 29. All right, Isaiah chapter 29. We're going to read verse 4, right? It says, "And thou shalt be brought down and shalt speak out of the ground, and thy speech shall be low out of the dust, and thy voice shall be as of one that hath a familiar spirit out of the ground, and thy speech shall whisper out of the dust." So we were literally brought down from the ground up. Understand? We just brought from a low state, right? The Most High chose us from a low state and brought us into that higher state, right? Let's get another one. Isaiah 47 and verse 1. Right? It says, "Come down and sit in the dust," right? It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." All right, so we understand that dealing with the dust is dealing with a lower state, right? So the Most High brought Adam out of that lower state, right, and breathed into him that breath of life, right? That wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Understand? Let's get another precept on that, right? It's the book of Second Esdras. Let's get Second Esdras, chapter 3. And we're going to read verse 5. It says, "And gavest a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of thine hands, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee." Right? Because what's life? To keep the law, statute, and the commandments, to follow the Most High God. That's what life is, right? So the Most High, on the fifth day, created us out of the ground, right? Out of the water, right? Created us out of the clay, and then gave us that life. Understand? The same way the Seminole God made the people out of the clay and taught them the arts of civilization. What's the arts of civilization? Right, that we see in the Bible, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. The same way the Most High did with man, right, in Genesis 2 and verse 7. Right, let's keep reading though. It says, he is associated with the Milky Way, which he created as his home, and which is considered to be an afterlife in traditional Seminole cosmology. Right, so let's deal with, he created the Milky Way and made it to be his home. Right, let's get Zechariah chapter 12, and we're going to read verse 1. All right, Zechariah 12, Zechariah 12, verse 1. It says, "The burden of the word of the Lord of it for Israel, saith Yahweh, which stretcheth forth the heavens, and layeth the foundation of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Understand? So the Most High stretches out the heavens. Right? What's the heavens? Above the firmament, which is what? You see where you see the Milky Way, the stars, right? Where you see those things, right? Even though the stars and stuff is in the thing, right? But we understand that our people, we went off. Our people, we had our own way of thinking. Understand? Because we wasn't following 100% the Most High God. But we see the same concept from the Seminole God in the Bible, right? Let's go to Isaiah 66 and verse 1. Right? Isaiah 66. We're going to read verse 1. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool." Right? So we see the same concept that the heavens is the Most High's throne, right? Where the Most High dwells in, right? And the earth is his footstool. Like the same way it says he associated with the Milky Way, which he created as his home, right? The Most High used the heavens as his home, the same way the concept of their God, their concept is that he made the Milky Way, which is their heavens, and made it his home, right? Because it says, and which is considered to be the afterlife, Salakia, right? It said, which is considered to be the afterlife in traditional Seminole cosmology. So they think that this is where you go when we die. We know, according to Ecclesiastes, let's just get it real quick, right? We know, according to Ecclesiastes 12, verse 7, it says, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it." So our spirit goes back to the Most High, right? And their way of Seminole cosmology, their afterlife, where they go after they die, is where God dwells at. The same concept that we see in the Bible, right? It's too many similarities that these people have with the Bible to not say that, oh, these people, to say that these people are not the people of God, right? But let's keep going on that, right? Let's keep going. Let's get another account on, right, their concept of their God, right? This is the Breath Maker, right, from BahaiTeachings.org, right? It says the Breath Maker and Seminole Sacred Tradition, right? You know, a talk between Christopher Buck and Kevin Locke, all right, June 2nd, 2019. So Kevin asked him a question, right? Let's read the second paragraph of the question right here. It says, "Now you just told me about the Breath Maker, the holy figure in the Seminole sacred tradition. There must have been a first time you heard about this fascinating indigenous messenger." So it says the Breath Maker, which is their creator God, is the messenger. A messenger. A messenger is a mediator between somebody and somebody else, right? We know, according to Hebrews 1 and verse 1. All right, let's just pull it real quick. Hebrews 1 and verse 1. It says, "God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these days spoken to us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds." So we understand in the Bible that in Genesis 1, it's Christ and the angels creating all of these things, right? And Christ is the messenger of God. And their creator God is the same messenger of another God. Right, let's just keep reading, right? It says, 2. "So when and how did you first learn about Breathmaker, the indigenous messenger of God for the Seminoles?" Listen, bro. It says the Breathmaker, the one who created them and who created the earth, is the messenger of God. The same way in the Bible, we see that Christ is the one who made the world in Genesis 1 to all the way down. Right? It's the same concept, right? Too many similarities, right? But let's keep going on that. All right, watch this. We're gonna go right here. Because they're just having a conversation. So we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna see what they say. All right, we're gonna dissect this through the spirit. All right, let's get this, right? Look at this. All right. It says, "If you look around the village," right? I believe this is Christopher speaking, right? Because Kevin asked the question, so now Christopher is answering. He's talking now. It says, "If you look around the village, you see many old people who grew up eating the pure food we grow and obtain from the land here. That's why we have many who are over 100 years old. When they were young, there were no white people in this part of Florida. When these people were young, there was no white people. We know that these white people came and they immigrated themselves and integrated themselves into the lands of our people. Understand what I'm saying? Right? They're culture vultures. All they do is go around rape, robbing, murdering people, and just assess their land and take everything for themselves, right? You said when their elders were young, they didn't see no white people in that part of Florida, right? It says, in their lifetime, they have witnessed the destruction of the Everglades and also the rapid growth of the city spreading like a cancer, right? And what do you have to do with a cancer? You got to kill it at the source. You got to take it all out. And we know the source of the cancer on this earth, right? The nation of people that has been pushing rape, rob, and murder throughout the whole earth, throughout the four corners of the earth, right? Like a cancer, it says from right here. It says they tell us that just as fast as it appeared, Breathmaker, Breathmaker will roll it up and make it disappear. So their messenger of God is going to come back and destroy America. The same way Christ is going to come back and destroy America. All right, let's get Isaiah 63, right? Because there's too many similarities between the Seminoles and their concept of their God and their messenger of God with the Bible, right? It's too many similarities dealing with their name, right? Dealing with the way they act, dealing with their society, dealing with their traditions and their gods, right? Let's keep going. Let's get Isaiah 66, right? Isaiah 63. Matter of fact, I want to pull it up right here. I want to pull it up on here, right? Isaiah 63. All right. KJV right here. Here we go. All right. All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 63. And we're going to start at verse 1. Right. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore thou art red in thine apparel, and thy garments like that treadeth, like him that treadeth in the wine fast. So Christ is going to be so bloody in his garment that's going to look like he was walking through a whole bunch of grapes and just treading the wine press. He's going to be drenched in blood, right? This is what the Bible's talking about. All right, this is coming straight out of the Bible. All right, all praises. Verse 3, it says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them with my anger. He's going to tread the Edomites with his anger. It says, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. Right? For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Right? So we know, matter of fact, we can keep going. Right? It says, and I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, my fury, it upheld me. Right? So the Most High is going to use Christ to come and destroy America, right? Let's get another thing on that, right? Let's get Revelation 14. And let's read Revelation 14 and verse 15, right? It says, and another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And we know when the Most High is gathering the Israelites, guess what else has to happen? Right? America's going to be destroyed. Right? So in the Bible, we see that Christ is coming back to save the Israelites and destroy America, right? To destroy Babylon the Great, right? The Seminole Indians coincidentally enough, says that Breathmaker, the same way it was so easy to make, Breathmaker, the messenger of God, remember that, the messenger of God, will roll up and make it disappear. The same way the messenger of our God, Yahweh Shai, is going to roll up and make America disappear. Right? Let's just get some more precepts on that, man. All right. Let's just get Isaiah 34. Isaiah 34, chapter 9, verse 10. It says, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become a burning pitch. So Christ is going to come back and destroy this land. It's going to be a burning pitch. Verse 10. It says, it shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation, it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. Right? So this land is going to be wasted. The same way the Seminole says, Breathmaker is going to come, roll up, and make it disappear. All right, let's keep going. It says, they tell us younger generations that they don't want us to stand with those people, white immigrants. So the elders are telling their younger generation not to be with the enemy, to separate from the enemy. Who are the enemy? Like it just said, the white immigrants. Right, let's get to the Bible. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 13. It says, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. So the Seminole Indians, the elders, right, the smart people, are telling the younger generation to not stand with them, to separate from their enemy, right? The same way we tell our people to separate from the enemy, right? God tells us to separate from our enemies, right? Let's keep going. It says, they tell us younger generations that they don't want us to stand with those people, the white immigrants, or else we will be swept away with them, right? Not only just to separate, it said, or else, if we don't separate, we will be swept away with them. Let's go to Isaiah 13. Isaiah chapter 13. Right, matter of fact, let's get this up here, right? Let's get this up here. 13, and we're gonna read verse 15. Isaiah 13 and verse 15. I don't want to Isaiah 13 and 15, right? It says, I'm gonna just read it before it pops up, right? It says, every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. If we get caught hand to hand, joined with the white man in the day of the visitation of the Lord, which is the vengeance of the Lord, we're going to be thrust through. And everyone that's joined with them is going to fall by the sword. The same way the elders are teaching the younger generation that if they don't separate from their enemy, they will be swept away with them. Just one more similarity, but these people are not the people of God, right? These people are just a bunch of Moabites, right? But it's foolishness, right? The Seminole Indians is just emphatic. It's emphatically proven that these people are the Israelites, right? This is a fact, right? No opinion, nobody's reaching, nobody's doing it. We're just reading it and comparing it to the Bible, right? Everything that they're saying, everything that they do, is literally similar 90% to the Bible. Right, but we're gonna keep going. Look what the brother says, right? He said, I personally don't agree. Right? He says, I personally don't agree. He doesn't agree with his elders, right? He's not taking heed to the good counsel, right? As our people do all the time. He says, I personally don't agree. I think we should go to school and learn how to interact with white people. Let's get Jeremiah 2 and verse 25. right? Because this is this is the problem with our people today. All right, let's get Jeremiah. Jeremiah 22 and verse 5, right? Because this is the problem with our people today, man. All right, let's get it. Oh, wait, no, I'm tweaking. Damn, I have a brain fart. Let's see. Shit, I'm tweaking. I had a brain fart just now. Jeremiah 2 and verse 25. I'm bugging. All right? Jeremiah 2 and verse 25. It says, withhold thy foot from being unshod, and thy throat from thirst. But thou saidest, there is no hope, no, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go. So we know, listen, these people are the people of God. They're doing the same exact thing that the Israelites did in the Bible. Had the same, except the same, almost similar, literally 90% the same exact concepts of the Bible. Right? Dealing with, first of all, creation, how they were brought up, the concept that they have a God who created things and is the messenger of another higher power. And that messenger is going to come back and destroy the place where they are today. And if we join hand in hand with the wicked people, you're going to die alongside with them. Right? And then the brother says he doesn't agree. He thinks he should go teach and learn with the white man. But the Bible says that they love strangers and after them will I go. This is exactly what the brother did. All right, this is exactly what the brother did. All right, but we're going to keep reading. All right, we're going to keep reading. Well, let's just finish that, right? It says, but since they are our grandparents, we respect them and obey their advice. Right? So they got to obey their advice, right? It's good. They have to take heed to that good counsel. Right? It says, when they are gone, all this will change. The elders say, stay true to the teachings of Breathmaker, who foretold that only those who hold to his teachings will be safe when the world is made new. Only those who stay true to his teachings will be safe when the world is made new. Let's get the book of Revelation, because these elders are onto something. Right? The elders of the Seminole Indians, they knew something. Right? And guess what they knew? They knew the words of the Most High. Right? Revelation 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right? Listen. And we stay hold to the teachings and keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Guess what's gonna happen to us? If we're part of the elect, Lord willing, we're part of the elect, right? In the 144 and the 1/3, we will escape the judgment and be able to enter into the new world, right? We'll be safe in the new world. And the elders are saying, if you don't listen and uphold the words of the breathmaker, right? And their breathmaker is a messenger. Our messenger is Christ, right? And according to Deuteronomy 18 and verse 18, we have to listen to Christ because Christ spoke everything that the Most High spoke, right? So if we don't uphold the teachings of Christ, what's going to happen to us, right? I'm going to be put to death. It's just that simple. The same way the Seminole elders are telling the younger generation the same thing. They have the same concept of their traditions with the Bible, right? Because these people are the people of the book, all right? They are the Israelites from the tribe of Reuben. All right, let's keep going. It says, they really believe in this. That's why we have survived. Even though the U.S. government fought the 3 Seminole Wars to destroy us, yet we survived. I want to key in on that. It says that's why we survived. Even though the U.S. government fought the 3 Seminole Wars to destroy us, yet we survived. 3 Seminole Wars. 3. The U.S. Army against Seminole Indians. But what did the Bible say was going to happen to Reuben? It says, let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few. This is a blessing that was going to happen to the Reubenites. And guess what? This is the blessing that God gave to the Seminole Indians, because God preserved them and protected them, even though the U.S. government and army fought 3 wars against them. Yet they still prevailed, and they still was able to not be utterly destroyed, because the Bible says they wasn't going to be destroyed. Right, let's keep going on that. All right, I'm just going to go through this. Let's see what this says. All right, watch this. Here's going to keep reading, right? Just whatever. It says, we're going to start right here. It says, this will all be like a desert someday. It said, this will all be like a desert someday. He says, it isn't long until the breathmaker returns. Let's go back. Let's just read from the top, right? It says, Buffalo Tiger may yearn for the old ways, but he too lives in town across the street from a Target store, sitting motionless on a bench with wooden slats along a canal skirting the Everglades. Buffalo Tiger doesn't seem to struggle with such dilemmas, perhaps because the Mikosukis, I'm sorry if I said that word wrong, believed the end of the earth is near, and so it doesn't much matter anyway. This is what we teach today, that the end has come. Well, we're in the last days, right? Right? Christ is going to come to destroy America soon enough, right? And the elders, they understand that. The elders of the Seminole Indians, they understand that this world, this America, is going to be destroyed. Let's see what he says. He says, this will all be like a desert someday, he says. It isn't long until the breathmaker returns. He's going to destroy the earth. Hurricanes will get worse. It will even snow here. There will even be earthquakes here. Let's get Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. It says, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. How does God overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah? Through fire, through brimstone, and was left a burning pitch, a desert. It was desolate, right? You can still smell the sulfur till this day. Right, verse 20. It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Right? Neither shall it dwell from generation to generation. Why? Because it's going to be a desert. How can you survive in a desert? Right, let's get Revelation. Let me see if I want this. Revelation 18, right? Revelation 18. We could read verse 9, right? It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her, right? They're going to cry and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Right, everything. Watch this. Jump to verse 14. It says, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. Right, so if you're not gonna be able to buy anything, not gonna find no fruits. You know why? Because it's gonna be a desert. Right? It's going to be desolate. The same way the brother Buffalo Tiger is saying that this world is going to be desolate. All right? America's going to be desolate. They have the same concept of the end times as the Israelites do. You know why? Because they are the Israelites. All right? And let's get this real quick. Amos. Right? This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 7, it says, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Right? The Most High gives his secrets to the servants, the prophets. All right? Hey, and this brother, he was in the spirit, right? Because he knows it's going to happen to America. All right, let's keep going, though. It says, the signs handed down by tribal elders for hundreds of years, are now appearing. He's the same way our elders were saying, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And guess what's happening? Exactly what they said. Right? Everything that the Bible said was going to happen is happening. Right? It says, drug use is rampant. Fish and turtles are dying. And probably most important, the Everglades wetland is being decimated. And an indication that the earth will be barren and people will starve. Please remember that. It says that the earth will be barren and people will starve. Right? We're gonna touch on that in a minute. It says, I remember when I was a boy that there were so many fish that you could just rock the canoe and the fish will pour into the canoe with the water that spilled over the sides, he says. Maybe half the Mikosuke feel strongly about the old ways. Right? And this is the source you see right here. Right? Watch this. Buffalo Tiger talked about Breathmaker in his biology. Right, and we're gonna read this from the top. It says, traditional Mikosuke people, Elaponke, sorry if I butchered that word. It says, always have great respect for this land, this year, and life itself. They believed, I'm not even gonna try to say that. They believed, this is what they call them. This is what they call them, right? Feshaki Omeche. I don't know. It says the Breathmaker, which is the Breathmaker, created the land and all living things. Breathmaker taught us how to live on and protect the land and how to love nature. He taught us how to understand other people, but to maintain our customs and culture. Right? We understand these other people. Right? We understand the ways that they go, but we stay true and maintain our customs and our culture. All right, that's what we're supposed to do. But our people, we love strangers, we're gonna go after them. Right? It says, since Breathmaker put this land for us to live and care for, money cannot buy the land. Breathmaker created us out of the clay. Listen to this. Because people say these people are Chinese people, right? These people are Mongoloids. Oh, the Indians are Mongoloids and they look like this and they have this. Listen, all of that is disputed easily. Right? And through the spirit, that's going to be a video coming up soon. Right? Disproving that whole Mongoloid theory. Right? Because all it is just a whole bunch of white racism and white supremacy. That's all it is. Right? Because if you believe that these people are Mongoloids, then you're a monkey. Honestly. If you're a so-called black man and you believe that the Indians are Mongoloids, then you're a monkey, because the same person that said that they're Mongoloids is the same person that said you evolved from a monkey. Right? So let's really talk about it, right? But let's keep going. It says, Breathmaker created us out of the clay. It happens to be brown muck. So we turned out to be brown persons. They're black people. But I thought they were Chinese people. I thought they were Chinese people. I thought they were Mongoloids. It said he created us out of the clay. And the clay happened to be brown. So we are brown persons. All right, but let's keep going. Let us keep going. All right. All praise. It says, we are we. He said, we are Breathmakers people. He didn't say everybody's Breathmakers people. He said, we are Breathmakers people. All right. Let's get there. What I want. a random one. Maybe Ezekiel. All right, maybe Ezekiel. All right, let's see if I got it. Yeah, right here. Ezekiel 34 and verse 35. It says, then shall they know. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm going to just read it, right? Ezekiel 34 and verse 30. It says, thus shall they know that I, the Lord their God, am with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, Salakia. Right, let's read it again. It says, Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 30. It says, thus shall they know that I, the Lord their God, am with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people, saith the Lord God. All right, Yahweh, the Most High Power. The Most High said that the Israelites are his people. He is saying that the Seminoles are the breathmakers people. He didn't say everybody is the breathmakers people. We said the Seminoles are breathmakers people. All right, showing that what's it called? What's the word? Exclusivity. Just excluding everybody, right? Excluding everybody else, showing that these people had this understanding that they are the people of God, right? They know that white people are not the people of God, but they know that they are the people of God. All right, let's keep going. It says people used to be more in control because they knew breathmakers' law. When we knew the Most High God's law, weren't we in power? Weren't we the highest? Weren't we supposed to be made the highest on the earth? Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. All right. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 verse 1. Deuteronomy chapter 28. I'm going to go read verse 1. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. If we keep his commandments, we are going to be set on high above all nations of the earth. But what happened? We disobeyed the Most High commandments, and the Most High put us on a low state. The Most High put us to the dust. The Most High put us to the ground. All right. Let's see what the brother Buffalo Tiger said. Right? He said people used to be more in control because they knew the breathmaker's law. Let's get all right. My brother brought this preach about today. 1 Timothy 1 and verse 8. It says, but we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully. Right? So we know that the law is good if people use it lawfully. Right? Not being a Pharisee. Right? Actually doing what the law says. People used to be more in control because they knew breathmaker's law. We knew how to use the law lawfully. It is the same concept. They're having the same concept of the Bible. Right? It says it's the only law we know. It is simple. There's just too many similarities between them and the Bible, right? It's just undeniable truth that these people are the people of God. Right? But wait till we get into the customs and the traditions more on the people. This is just dealing with their God. This is just dealing with what they say about their creation, about their creator, about their belief. But let's see the people, their actions, their attire. All right, we're going to get into all of that, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Right? 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. So this is the love of God. We know we love God, right? It was simple to love God, right? All we got to do is keep his commandments, right? For this is the love of God. If we keep his commandments, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. The commandments are not hard. They're not hard at all. This brother, let me get his name right, Buffalo Tiger, says that it's the only law we know. It's simple. The law is simple. It's that simple. The Bible said the law is simple. He's saying the law is simple. That his messengers, his God laws are simple, right? Which is once again the same concept we see in the Bible. Because these people are the Israelites, right? I'm just going to keep saying it over and over again at this point, right? These people are the Israelites from the tribe of Reuben, right? And it's undeniable. Let's keep reading. It says, we didn't make the law. We didn't make the law. Breathmaker thought that was a type of law we must use, and we lived with it. So the laws that we got is the one that God created for us, and we got to deal with it. We got to do what God said. You know why? Because he's the most high power. He made the laws. Let's keep going. Watch this. Breathmaker talked to us after we were created. He told us, I will return one day. Carry on what I have taught you to live by, or otherwise I will destroy you. So after the Seminole, their concept, right? After they were created, Breathmaker came back to them, and he said, listen, I'm going to return again. You're going to keep the commandments, or I'm going to kill you. You're going to keep the commandments, or I'm going to kill you. You're going to die. Let's get Luke. Let's get the book of Luke. Chapter 13 and verse 3. It says, this is Christ speaking, red letter. I tell you nay, but except ye repent, ye shall all likewise perish. He said, except ye repent, you're going to perish. Or what? You're going to die. That's what Christ said. That's what their messenger said. The messenger of our God said that. The messenger of their God said that. These people are the people of the Bible. All right? Let's get Revelation 3. Revelation 3 and verse 3. Because he said, I will return one day. Carry on what I have taught you to live by, or otherwise I will destroy you. Let's see what Christ said out of his own mouth. Revelation 3 and verse 3. It says, remember therefore how thou hast received and heard. Remember what I taught you. Remember what you heard from me. And hold fast and repent. Keep on listening. Hold on to what I taught you and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, if you don't watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt know what hour I will come upon thee. So Christ is being slick. He said, listen, if you ain't watching, if you ain't keeping the commandments, I'm going to pull up on you like a thief in the night. And you really going to know when I'm pulling up on you. Right? So Christ is telling us we gotta hold fast to what he taught us. Christ said we got to hold fast to what he taught us. We got to repent. We got to keep the commandments, or he's going to destroy us. Their breathmaker, their messenger of God, said, I will return one day, carry on what I have taught you to live by, or otherwise I will destroy you. Which is the same thing Christ told the Israelites. You know why? Because these people are the Israelites. It's just undeniable at this point, right? But we're going to keep going through the Spirit. It says, we were told before breathmaker returns, we will see signs like people changing to be disrespectful and people doing many wrong things. Right, so let's see what God told us was going to happen during the last days. Right, the same way their messenger, their God, told them was going to happen. All right, let's get the book of Second Esdras. I think I'm going to just pull it up on the thing. I'm going to just pull it up, right? But we're going to get Second Esdras 15 and verse. We're going to start at verse 15, right? So y'all could just flip there. Second Esdras 15 KJV. All right, or do we have to? Yeah. All right, let's get second address. All right. We're gonna wait for this to load because it's kind of slow, you know. But still, we're gonna get into it. All right, second address 15. We're gonna start at verse 15. All right, but let's go back and refresh what the guy said. He said, "We were told before breathmaker returns, we will see signs like people changing to be disrespectful and people doing many wrong things." Let's touch on that part. Second address 15 and verse 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." So a people is going to be fighting against another people. I find that's probably very disrespectful. Niggas are going to be fighting, right? People are going to be fighting against each other. All right. Verse 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition amongst men." All right. Matter of fact, let's go here. All right. "There shall be a sedition amongst men." Look what a sedition is, right? Rebellion, uprising, revolt, contracted attempt to overthrow civil authority, a violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, right? Rebellious against authority. All right, seditious. Tending to incite treason. See some more. Treason, treachery, treason, betrayal, right? Basically, people are going to be rebelling and having an uprising and a revolt. Right? It says, "For there shall be a sedition amongst men." So men are going to revolt and rebel against each other. It says, "In invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So the people are going to overthrow the government, like it says in the Bible. They're going to overthrow the system because what? The government has less amount of people than the the regular middle class or lower class society. Right? So their actions are going to stand in their power, right? They're not going to regard their kings, right? Nor princes, right? They're not going to regard the governors, the senators, the president, right? Even the army, right? There's going to be sedition amongst men. And that sounds like many wrong things are going to happen, right? But let's keep going. Let us keep going. Oh, what? It's a lot, here. All right, let's keep going on that though. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, their cities shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Verse 19. "A man shall have no pity on his neighbor." He's not going to care about his neighbor. Right? It says, "But shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." Remember earlier I said, remember that. Earlier I said, remember this, but we're going to go back. We're going to touch it right now. Where is that? We're going to touch it right now. Right here. It says, "The Everglades wetland is being decimated, an indication that the earth will be barren and people will starve." People are going to starve. Second Esdras 15 and verse 19 says that man is not going to have no pity on his neighbor. It says, "But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread." They're not going to have no food. They're going to be starving. This is why the people, like also he said, this is why the people, what the heck? All right. Oh, Slacky. It says, this is why the people, where we at? Are going to be changing to be disrespectful and people doing many wrong things. Right? So these people are going to be doing many wrong things. Right? And that's just a fact. You understand? And that's what it says in Second Esdras. This is what God is showing Ezra to show the people. Right? To prophesy to the people. This is what's going to happen. The same concept that these people have, the Seminole Indians, is the same concept that we find in the Bible. Right? And they're going hand in hand, cohesively. just agreeing with one another. All right, but let's just keep going. Now we're going to get into their traditions, a little bit more in their worship, right? But we're going to go right into it, right? All right, this is the, let me go back up. All right, this is Enduring Beauty, Seminole Art and Culture. All right, it's a PDF, right? So you can just look this up and then, or look at this right here. Just look that up. All right, you'll find it. All right, so let's go to page, we're gonna go to page 11. All right, matter of fact, we can go right here. Because remember earlier we stated, the Bible states that the 10 tribes are going to be led from the Assyrian captivity. This is, you can see right here, it says the figure, ceremony, nature are associated with the Mississippian culture of this Sabiro site in Oklahoma, because a lot of Seminole Indians are in Oklahoma due to the fact that they were pushed out and they had to move up into that area, right? Look at this image. Look at this image of the Seminole Indians, right? This is a piece. This is a piece of what they had of this. All right. Let's look something up, right? All right, because let's see where they got that concept from, right? Because these people are Moabites. Why is the Assyrian, or the Assyrian culture has a bird, arms of a man, right? Let the picture load. A bird's arms of a man, and I think this is very similar to the same thing that they had on their thing. You know why? Because these people left the Assyrians and came over here, right? They did not go to no Barren Strait, because all that is just a theory. This is Assyrian art. This, where we at, is Seminole Indian art. You know why? Because they took some of the things from the Assyrians and brought it over to where they were at. You know why? Because these people are the Israelites, according to the Bible. Any person through captivity is going to assimilate and associate with the oppressor's thing, right? Just called Stockholm Syndrome. Right now, people have the worst case of Stockholm Syndrome. Right, so you're going to take bits and pieces of their, what's it called? Of their, traditions and their structures and their sculptures and things of that nature, right? So they have the same concept as the Assyrians. You know why? Because they came from the Assyrian captivity, right? It's just that simple. Right, but let's keep moving on. This is a serpent, all right? If you have eyes to see, listen. I was struggling to see this. I ain't gonna care. All right, this is a serpent. You can see right here, it says suspension hose, pearls wrapped around the snake's body. The mouth, the snake's body, the eye, the head, the rouse, the neck, right? There's a serpent, right? Let's read it. It says, this is a Mississippian period man shell gorget depicting the rattlesnake motif. Let's just skip down, right, to this paragraph right here. It says the snake rattlesnake serpent motif was widespread throughout the southeastern United States and is associated with the underworld. It is a creature of ambiguous attributes, both feared and admired. The rattlesnake was the chief. It was the creature that is credited with saving mankind from a disease sent by the sun to destroy it. Right, so they look at this serpent like a godly figure. Right, they look at this serpent like a godly figure. Let's see what the Israelites is doing in the Bible. Right, we're gonna get 2 Kings chapter 18 and verse 4. Right, it says, He removed the high places and break the images and cut down the groves and break in pieces the brazen serpent that Moses had made. For unto those days the children of Israel did burn incense, and he called it Nehushtan. So the people of Israel were giving homage to a brass serpent the same way the people of the Seminole Indians give homage and fear and admire a brass serpent, which is something that saved them from something. Guess what? In Israel, the brass serpent, what was it? It saved us from what? Saved us from the terror that he was going through, right? In Numbers, right? When we looked on a serpent, we got saved. And anyone who was bitten, we was healed. Understand what I'm saying? They gave homage to this thing. What you burn incense to? Why you burn incense to the Most High? Because it's a sweet savor to the Most High. Right? So they was admiring the serpent back in Israel, right? The people of Israel, that's what they was doing. The same way these people are admiring this serpent, right? And paying homage and looking at this serpent as a godlike creature. Right? Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11 and verse 5. All right, taking another priest on there, right? Wisdom of Solomon 11 and verse 5. It says, matter of fact, I'm going to jump to let's go to verse 15. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 11 and verse 15. It says, but for the foolish devices of their wickedness, wherewith being deceived, they worship serpents void of reason. Understand that we are worshiping serpents void of reason. What are we worshiping serpents for? What does serpent do for us? Nothing. The Most High God is the one that does everything for us. But we are worshiping serpents void of reason. They're worshiping a serpent, thinking that he saved mankind from a disease sent from the sun to destroy it. Understand? We worshiping serpents void of reason, right? For no reason, right? And that's it on that, right? So we're gonna keep going down, right? Let's look through this the stuff that the Seminole Indians had, right? Their culture, right? All right, you see the fringes on there, all right? The Gadolium, all right? Which is what people call tzitzits, but really, in reality, when you look at it in the Blue Letter Bible, these are tzitzits, and what you call tzitzits are really Gadolium. You got to look at the when you look at Deuteronomy 22 and 12, and look at the word for fringes. All right, but we're gonna go to page 18, right? Look at this. Right, look at this. All right, look. Let's go to page 18. And I don't have the picture. Let me see if I can get it right now. Right, because I don't have the picture that the brother had. The brother had made fringes just like this. All right, but let's see what it says. All right, give me 1 second. Salakia. Salakia, give me 1 second. All right. If we can't get it, then it's okay. But we're just gonna read this, right? It says a pair of finger woven bedded fobs, each of differing design and with a color variety of seed beads. Okay. It says each culminating. It says each so like each culminating with hopped beaded elements. It says these were originally collected, given to Celia Olmsted, one of the original school teachers in Dade County, Florida. They were attached These were attached to male clothing, such as big shirts or turbans, as a decorative and colorful element. These people are putting fringes on their garments. Right? Who does that? The Israelites do it. Right? Numbers 15 and verse 38. Right? It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments, right, throughout their generations, that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue, right? And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you use the whole horn." Right? So these people, they're putting fringes on their garments. Right, but we're just gonna keep signing through, right? You can see there's more that they put on their garments, the men put on their shirts, right? On their vests, all the things like that. All right, let's look at page 19. Look at this. I don't know how you're gonna look at this and not tell me these are fringes. All right, I know people who have the same exact fringes as this, literally. All right, these people are wearing fringes, and there's nothing really you can really say about it. Just look, the proof is in the pudding, right? You got the border of blue. They're going crazy, right? Look at it says, let's get it right here. Look, right here. Look at this. Right, look at this. All right, and now look at this. Oh no. And look at this. Look at this. It's the same thing. This is a brother just sent me a picture of the fringes. Right? It's the same thing. All right, let's go back to. Let me share my screen again. All right, let me share my screen again. All right, wait for it to pop up. But like you've seen, it's the same exact thing. This is the same thing as this, right? You see it from the slide for the link. Try to block this off real quick. You see that? It's the same thing. That's the brother's fringes. This is the Seminole Indians' fringes, right? All praise to the Most High. We see the proof is in the pudding. The Most High puts His Spirit in and just allows these people to just keep the commandments, because this is what they was doing. This is what they came here to do, to keep the commandments. But we already know our people. You know, we go off all the time, right? This is another style. Look at it. Another style. All right. Ultimately the same thing. Let's go to page 21. All right, watch this. Because literally almost everybody wore these. Right? Men wore them on their garments. All right, look at this one. It's a different one. It says bags, such as this example, are rare and important artifacts of the Seminole, worn by most Seminole men, and especially their leaders. They served a variety of functions as a means to contain, to carry tobacco, flints, food, clothing, everything possible. This is an example. This example is unique in that it carries the design of alligator heads as primary design element, right? Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. The brothers got fringes on their garments. I mean, I don't know what else to say or what it is. It's fringes, right? The people have the same customs in apparel, in beliefs, right? Even their name, Seminole, unstable. They're unstable as water. They're untamed. They're unrestrained. The same way the Seminole Indians are unrestrained, right? And the Most High is just showing us that these people are the people of the Bible, all right? Look at this, more clear. Right here. There you go. And I'm gonna just keep showing the picture because guess what? It's the same exact thing. Let me zoom in real quick, right? Look, they got their border of blue going on, right? And they got their fringes going on, all right? They got their fringes going on. Let me turn this off real quick so y'all can see. All right, they got their fringes going on. It's the same thing. You understand? But let's keep going. As a matter of fact, let me go back. I'm going to show y'all something, right? Deuteronomy. I'm going to show you this, right? With this one right here. With this one right here, right? Matter of fact, yeah. All right, we're going to show y'all something real quick. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah. Watch this. We've seen the fringes that they had in their garments, right? Let's see what the Most High told us to do. The Most High told us to put fringes on our garments. Right? And that's what they did. All right, but let's look at the word for fringes, right? Watch this. Watch this, right? All right, so like if it's a little slow. All right, but we're going to get into it. All right. Oh, I'm about to just pull up on my phone. All right, like I was saying earlier, it's gadol. All right, it's the word gadol, right? When you deal with the four corners of thy vesture, those are not technically tzitzits. These are gadolim. These, when you look at Numbers 15 and 34, 15 and 38 in blue letter, it says tzitzits, right? It says twisted the gadols, right? Deuteronomy 22 and 12, when it says we had a word on the four corners of thy vesture, it says twisted threads, tassels, festoons, right? Let me just read it for y'all. And watch this. Look at this. So we got to put the festoons on our garments, right? Let's look at what a festoon is. This is a festoon. All right. This is a festoon. Let's look at some more images. Let's get some more images. All right. Bear with me. Let's see what a festoon. Look at what a festoon is on. All right. Let me show you something. When you deal with festoons, all you're doing is dealing with dangling lights. Like this. That's all it is. Something that's dangling. That's going like this. Right? Look at this. This would be a festoon. All right. As moving kind of slow, I'm going to just pull up another example. Pull up something else I got you right now. All right. What's this? But let's read it though. Deuteronomy 22 and 12, it says, thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself. Right? So wherever we covering ourselves, we got to put that on there. Right? And we know that they put those on their garments, right? This is a festoon. Something that's looping around, right? As you can see. All right, when you go back to what they had on. Look at this. It's a festoon. That's literally what it is. It's a festoon. It's the fringes. That's what they had in their garments. They was keeping the law to a certain extent. All right, these people are the Israelites. All right, let's keep going though. Right, we've seen this already. Seen this already too. Let's go to page. I want to jump to page 34. What page is this? 30, 31, 28. All right, let's go to page 34. All right, look at the beautiful clothes the women used to have. Modest skirts. All right, who are the people that wear modest apparel? Our women used to wear modest apparel. All right. All right, our people used to wear head coverings. All right, but let's keep going. Let's see about the Seminole people. This is early images of Seminole hunters using a bow and arrow and guns. These photographs may have been taken by Julian DeMuck when he visited and photographed the Seminole in early 1900s. All right, let's go to First Chronicles. Let's go to. In fact, I don't want to do all of that. All right. Let's go to First Chronicles 5 and verse 18. Okay, that's what we're gonna hit. First Chronicles 5 verse 18. All right, I will just keep it right here. It says, "The sons of Reuben and the Gadites and half the tribe of Manasseh, of valiant men, men able to bear buckler and sword, and to shoot with the bow, skillful in war." So these people, right, the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the Manassites, are people who are able to use the buckler and the sword, the shield and the sword, and to shoot with the bow, and are skillful at war. The same way the Seminole Indians were skillful at war, the Seminole Indians didn't lose and didn't give up to 3 wars that was held against the United States Army. 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Right? And as you can see, these people are what? They're skilled with the bow, skilled with the buckler, with the sword, able to use guns, able to use the bow and arrow. They are skilled with weapons. All right, that's what these people are able to do. All right. Let's get First Chronicles 12. And verse KJV, right? First Chronicles 12, verse 37, right? In the KJV. It says, I clicked on it by accident, so but it's alright. First Chronicles 12, verse 37 in the KJV. I'm gonna read in my Bible since it's being slow. It says, and the other side of Jordan, and on the other side of Jordan, of the Reubenites and the Gadites and of the half tribe of Manasseh, with all manner of instruments of war for battle, and 120,000. So these people were ready for any instrument of war, the same way the Seminole Indians could use any instrument of war. They could use the bow, they could use the sword, they could use the gun, they could use the buckler, they can use all of these things, right? Because these people were skilled at war. These people fit their description in the Bible, right? Well, let's go back to this. Let's go back to listen to them using the guns, using the bows and arrows. Able to use, they're skillful at war. They're skillful to use any type of weapon. Understand? All right, and let's go to let's just jump to page. Let's just jump to page 50, right? What's this? Page is 47. Right? Look at this. Look at the men that they're portraying. fringes on our garments. The same fringes that I got on my body. The same fringes that the Negro only Israelites are saying that the Negro only Israelites have on their body. The same people are saying that these people are that these people are heathens. That these people are Mongoloid. But guess what? These people are in fact the children of God, in fact, the Seminole Indians. Let's get Hosea 1 and verse 1. All right, let's get Hosea chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, chapter 1 and verse 10, Salakia. It says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people. So where it was said unto them that these people are Seminole Indians, they're Mongoloids, they're not God's people, they're just a bunch of savages, right? There where you and the place, then the place where it was said unto them, that ye are not my people, or people are saying you're not the children of God. There in America, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Guess what? These people are in fact the children of Israel, of the tribe of Reuben. Right? And the Most High is proclaiming this to his spirit and through his power, right? And using his vessels, which are his sons, the servants, the prophets. Right? And we can keep going. All right, let's go to page 51. All right, look at this man. Look at this strong Seminole Indian man, right? Pause. Look at this. He got fringes on his garment. Let me zoom in real quick. Look at him. He got his gun with him. He got his strap with him. You know why? Because he's skilled. He can use these weapons. He can use all sorts of weapons. People think Indians, let me not even say Indians. People think that the indigenous people of the land were only able to use bows and arrows. That's how they depict them. Just a bow and arrow. Every time you see him on Disney Channel, you see him on Nickelodeon, you see him on history shows. It don't matter. It never fails. On cartoons, and art, right? It never fails. But guess what the Bible says? That these people are skillful in any instrument of war. And look at this man right here. He got his strap with him. You see what I'm saying? All right. And what else he got on? He got on his fringes. He got on his fringes. The same fringes we got on today. Same fringes. The Bible tells us to wear. You know why? Because these people are the people of God. Because if you're a Seminole Indian, you're watching this, you are a Reubenite of the nation of Israel. All right. Let's keep going. All right. Let me see my boy right here. All right, but let's keep going. Let's go to page. Let me see. Oh yeah, my boy right there. Let's go to page 55. All right. Man, look at the woman used to dress. Beautiful. All right, modest apparel. That's how women used to dress. That's how women should be dressing to this day. All right. Look at this. Buffalo Bills, Florida foes. All right, dealing with the Seminole Indians. Look at this man pants. All right. Look at how the brother wears his fringes on the side of the pants. And we know a lot of brothers in a lot of different camps that wear their fringes on the side of their pants, even the all one West. Slovakia. Same fringes that we wear today. We're wearing the same fringes that they wear. Understand? Because we're the same people. Now we're the children of God. All right. Let's keep going. Let's go to verse. Look at this. Look at this beautiful family. All right. Let me zoom out. Look at how the women look. Look how the men look. Look at the fringes on his garment. Let me zoom into that real quick. Look at how they dresses on, down to the socks. All right. Can't even see their toes. Look at this. Look at his fringes. Look at this. All right. It's inevitable, right? It's undeniable. All right. Now watch this. Let's go to let's go to page 57. All right. It says through the auspices of a grant endowment at the Museum of Natural History, University of Florida, Gainesville, two scholars of Seminole history have authored the following papers, which were published. Right, these things right here. This is just about research essays. All right, but let's look at this image right here. One, two, three, four, five, six. All right. And the brothers had the lily on they around their neck, around they chest. Same thing we're doing today. They uphold the same symbol we upholding today. Right? Because it's just undeniable truth that these people are in fact the people of God. Right? These people are the people of God. I'm saying it's just undeniable. Right? But let's get some more. Let's get some more on that, right? Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 6. We're just going to read that part again. It says, let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few. Right? This is the blessing that they had. You know why? Because they were not able to be taken down. Right? They were unconquered, untamed, unrestrained. They were wanton. Right? They were unstable as water. Right? The Seminole Indians, the tribe of Reuben. Right? And they're not gonna die. They're gonna live, and their numbers not gonna be few. Right? Their numbers grew after that. They were decimated to the 300 that low 300 number. Right? So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. We're gonna read verse 31. Matter of fact, we're gonna read verse 46. Right? A lot of people like to say that the curse of Deuteronomy ended in 70 AD, but that's not true. Right? And matter of fact, not only gonna read verse 6, verse 46, right? Let's get into GNT. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 45 in the GNT. Right? In the GNT, right? It says, all these disasters will come on you, and they will be with you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the Lord your God and keep all his laws, all the laws that he gave you. All right, it's verse 46. It says, they will be the evidence of God's judgment on you and your descendants forever. So this is going to be the evidence to prove who you are. It says it's going to be on the Israelites forever. It's going to be the evidence. This is evidence to know who these people of the Bible are. And guess what? Everything that's been brought to you today to the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is evidence that these people are the people of God. Right? Let's read verse 31. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 31. It says, thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep will be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. What happened to the Seminole Indians? They lost during the 3 wars. They lost their cattle. Right, like the brother said, all his fishes are dying. All the cattle's been gone. You know what I'm saying? Guess what happened? Who they killed off all the buffaloes. Right, listen. They killed the majority of their animals, the majority of their crops, the majority of their supplements that they had to sustain themselves. Right, and they were turned to who? The enemies. Who the enemies of so-called white men. Right, and out of their own mouth, the enemies of so-called white men. Right, let's read verse 32. It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and that I shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand. Listen, when a white man's going up in a reservation, snatching people up, what are they doing? What can they really do? Nothing. But when you have the sex traffickers targeting indigenous people, sex trafficking them and bringing them to locations and their family don't know where they're at, what's happening to them? They're longing all the day long. Right, verse 33. It says, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. He said the cities are growing like a cancer. And the white man is over here eating up all their crops. The Everglades are being destroyed. He said, all my crops are done. All of our resources that their power gave them is over. The same way God told the Israelites that their fruit of their land and all their labors are going to be eaten up from a nation they did not know. They did not know white people before they came over there. Right? They didn't know gringo before they came over there. All right, let's keep going. It says, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Right? It says, so thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. So they're going to be angry. Right? Why do you think the man said he don't want his kids, the people going around with the white man? Because he's angry. He's angry at what they have done. Right? He's angry. They have so much power. Why do you think the indigenous people have the highest rate of drinking alcohol? Because these niggas are angry. They're trying to what's it called? Swallow away and wash away their sorrows through the liquor. Right, let's jump to verse 43. Right, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 43. It says, the strangers that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. They came over there so deceitful. Let me hold that real quick. Let me get Psalms 50. Yeah, let me get Psalms 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Listen, the Seminole Indians were more than happy to help the U.S. Army, the U.S. government. But what did they do? They came with deceitful words. They came like the words smooth like butter, but war was in their heart. They came with all these treaties, and guess what they did? They broke every single treaty with the Seminole Indians. Not one remained. They broke every single one. You know why? Let's read it. Psalms chapter 58 and verse 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Right? The wicked are estranged from the womb. As soon as they're born, they speak lies. That's all the white man does. All they do is speak lies as soon as they be born. They go out and they just spew lies to the people. What they do is they spew lies to the Seminole Indians. Right? And destroy their crops, destroy their land, destroy their women, their men, their children. Right? Broke their soul. Right? Destroyed them. Right? But guess what? God said that was going to happen if we didn't obey his commandments. And guess what we was doing? They want to worship serpents. They want to do this. Right? We don't want to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The Most High plagued us with that. Understand? Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 43 from the top. It says, the stranger that is within thy gate, that is within thee, shall get up above thee very high. They came to the land and just started taking everything out of nowhere. Like, as a Seminole Indian, you're just like, yo, bro, how did you come over here and just start taking stuff? They just came and they just got above them very high. It's just like miraculous. It's like, how can this even happen? You know why? Because the Most High God said it was going to happen to his people. This is how we know that the Seminole Indians are, in fact, God's chosen people, right, of the tribe of Reuben. All right. Deuteronomy 28, verse 43 again says, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. What happened to the Seminole? They were brought down to 300 men. All right. Let me see if I can get that. They were brought down to 300 men. All right, verse 44. It says, He shall lend to thee. What did the white man do? They claim that they give them reparations. They give them reparations, but they're the 1% poorest people in America. How they falling at the 1%? It doesn't make no sense at all. All right, let's see if I can get this. Let me see if I can get this real quick. Salakia. All right, I'm gonna just read this, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna just share my screen real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna just share my screen real quick. All right, for it to pop up, right? All praises. Seminole history from www.dars.myflorida.com, right? It says Seminole history. The Seminoles of Florida called themselves the unconquered people. Like it said, they were going to be untamed. They were going to be unstable as water, wanton. That's exactly what they call themselves. That's exactly what they are. They know in their spirit that they are the tribe of Reuben. That's what they know, right? Descendants of just 300 indigenous and Indians who managed to elude capture by the U.S. Army in the 19th century, right? They was able to get away from these people in the 19th century, right? They were brought down very low to 300 people. But God said, as a blessing, let Reuben live and not die, and let his numbers not be few. Right? That's why they were able to excel and come back. Not excel, but they was able to come back and have that nation, right? And not be as Dan was. Right? But let's read verse 44 again. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 44 says, He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. This is the indigenous land. But who's owning the political systems? Who's owning the democratical system? Who's owning the government, the money flow? Who owns the harbor, imports, exports, the flow of currency, right? The businesses. It's the so-called white man. The enemy. It says the enemy is gonna come and they're gonna be what's it called? Slakia. They were gonna be the head and we were gonna be the tail. And that's what the Seminole Indians are today in America. They were the head of this. They were the head of this land, along with the Native Americans and the indigenous people in the South and Central Americas. All right, they was the head of this land, but now they're the tail. Now they're at the end of the stick. They gotta buy everything. They gotta go to the white man for everything. Understand? Because these people, all the people of God, they fit the curses. Understand? They fit the curses that are evidence of God's judgments of the Israelites. Evidence. Understand that. Right? Let's go to verse 66. It says, And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. The Seminole Indians, Slakia, the Seminole Indians don't have no assurance of their life. They drinking their life away. Because they're the tail. They gotta buy everything from the so-called white man. This is their land, and they gotta go to them to get crops. They gotta go to them to get water. They gotta go to them to get meat. This was their land and they were hunting meat for themselves. Right? They have no assurance of their life. They getting shot down in the street at the same way as black people getting shot down in the street. Right? Even when you deal with the percentages, because when you do percentages, if there's 3 people, right, and one person gets shot, that's 1/3. Right? But if there's 10 people and one person gets shot, that's 1/10. So the percentage is gonna be higher for the lower amount of people, right? And there's less amount of a lower number of Seminole Indians, which is compared to so-called black people. So their percentage of getting gunned down by police officers is actually higher than so-called black people when you deal with percentage-wise, right? So they people are finna curses. They getting shot down in the street. They getting hunted down by the cops, right? They're the one that's not able to not getting any type of reparations when you actually look at it. the amount of money they're receiving is enough to pay for what? The projects with no water, with dirty water, and they have to come and destroy their more of their land to build a casino and build highways and build pipes. When this is their land, they're supposed to be getting back reparations. Right? They're not gonna have no assurance of their life. They're gonna fear day and night. They gotta worry the next day. Am I gonna wake up and there's gonna be a big casino on my front yard? Am I gonna wake up and there's gonna be a damn highway coming through my front door? Is there gonna be a damn sign saying evicted or saying get out 2 week notice? You gotta leave because they're building a goddamn casino, a goddamn highway, a damn whatever. Right? They have no assurance of their life. Right? Let's go to verse 18. Right? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 18. It says, "Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and cursed shall be the fruit of their body, the kids, because the kids are being taken, and raped." Right? They don't know where their kids is at. You know how many indigenous people are getting taken and getting sex trafficked? Right? It says, "In the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep." They don't have no increase of their kind. They don't have no fruit of their land. All of that is getting taken away. Right? All of that was going to be cursed because it's evidence of God's judgments that these people are the Israelites. Right? And with that, it's more information to go into. Understand? Listen, but I think that was evidence enough to prove that these people, right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that these people, the Seminole Indians, are in fact the tribe of Reuben of the nation of Israel. Right, and with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Right, and we're going to say Shalom.